Let me throw a thought experiment out to you, and we'll just see how you do with it. This is Ellen Goodman's thought experiment. She says, okay, you pro-lifers, you say the embryo is a human being, one of us, whole living entity from the beginning. You're in a burning research lab. It's on fire. In the corner up there is a newborn baby. In that corner over there is a vial full of 12 frozen embryos. This building's about to collapse. You got time to save one or the other, but not both. Which one are you going to save? I know what your answer is going to be and what your answer should be, and I know what my answer would be. I'm going for the newborn. We all are. Goodman says, yeah, that's right. There's the proof you don't really believe the unborn at the embryonic stage are full human beings. Because if you did, you wouldn't automatically go for the newborn, thereby proving that even you, in your deepest intuitions, know that that embryo is not fully one of us. Because look who you saved first. So why are you bellyaching about embryonic stem cell research and early abortion? Okay, that's her argument. Anybody want to take a shot at what's wrong with this?
She only gave us one option. It doesn't follow that they're both not human. If you only gave us one option to save one life.
It doesn't prove that the embryos aren't human. It's not scientific. It's ridiculous.
I'd ask if, I don't know if she has kids or not, but I mean, if her child was on one side of the room and there were, say, you know, a dozen people she had, who would she save?
Yeah. Precisely. Yeah. If this building's on fire and I have a choice of saving all of you or my 9-year-old daughter Emily, who's going to roast? You're gone. I like you all, but you're toast. Even my staff is going to roast, okay? That's just the way it is. And by the way, they'd make me roast if it were reversed. So, you know, we have equal affection here. If this room's on fire, I'm saving my own kid first. Does it follow the rest of you are not fully human? No. Now, by the way, I'm going to save my own kid first, but I'm not going to slit all your throats on the way out, am I? You see, her analogy doesn't work to justify destructive embryo research because her analogy is about who we're going to choose to save, not who we're going to choose to deliberately kill to benefit someone else. She's using an analogy that doesn't work to prove her point. But you're exactly right. Our emotions and our duties to some human beings are going to be different than others, but it doesn't mean those left behind are not fully human. And you're right, too. It doesn't follow that anything at all to refute the scientific case.
That's the nature of a paradox, because instead of a child and a vial of embryos, if you have 2 children,
right,
you would have to make an unpleasant choice.
You'd have to make a choice.
So that's one of those paradoxes. It really doesn't seem to have a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you still beat your wife? It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, you set you up for.
I don't know if it's quite like that, but yeah. That.
What if she's asking more of like, what in that context, what's more valuable? You know what I mean? And like, obviously, what's more valuable to you is your daughter over
right.
You know, us or whatever. So if
right.
we're talking only that context,
yeah.
What's more valuable of like a born child or these embryos?
I'm glad you brought that up. Very good on your part. Now, here's what's interesting. Why is this even a dilemma for us, this example of hers?
Because they bring it up.
It is, but I mean, in the context of the dilemma here, why is it a dilemma?
Because emotional attachment. Yeah, you see it. You already have the kid there. People can't connect with an embryo in a tube or whatever form it's in. There you have to have a child that's different.
Okay.
Kind of sounds like a paraphrase of the ethical theory question about when I don't know the train track thing where a train's coming down, just track diverges, and you can let it hit 5 people, or you flip the switch and let it hit 1.
Depends who the one is.
Yeah. And so it's just kind of, I mean, they force you to make a decision, instead of trying to, typically, most people say they try to save the 5 because, every,
You're right.
Saving more human life.
You're right. Let me clarify. I'm being a little vague at what I'm after here. It's not your fault, it's mine. All right, let's say it's a pot of flowers over here and a newborn over here. Do we have a dilemma? There's no dilemma. Why do we have a dilemma between the vial of embryos and the newborn? They're both valuable. In other words, her example works against her. Because the only reason we pause and go, uh-oh, what do we do is what? They both are valuable. Now, there are prudential reasons why you save the newborn. Its suffering is greater, for one. Also, its chances of survival are better. Medical staff make triage decisions all the time. This is done. In fact, a friend of mine told me a story. I still don't understand it. Well, maybe I do understand it. Apparently, when he was training to be a diver in one of the branches of the armed services, I don't remember which, they taught him, or they had this setup where there's a daughter and a father submerged in a car 18 feet below the water, or 20 feet below the surface of the water, and you're the diver going down to rescue, and the question was put to the guys, who are you going to save first? Guess what the answer is? They go for the dad, because they think the girl's chances are almost nil at that point. Her lung capacity can't survive that. He can. They save him first. Now, does that mean they're immoral? No, they're doing what they think is the greatest good they can in that situation. So that could be in play here as well. All right?